Dr. Jewel Pookrum, MD, PhD, an acknowledged leader in the natural healing movement, founded and directed the Civilized Medicine Institute, CMI. CMI specialized in medical treatment through nutritional medicine, which created a healing environment where clinical medicine and holistic practices were combined in a highly individualized approach. Her treatments have helped patients to heal visible signs of cancer, erase aging lines, and learn to live happy, balanced, and pain-free lives. Dr. Pookrum completed graduate work in clinical microbiology in 1968 at Roosevelt University, clinical internship in 1976 from Cragen University Medical School in Omaha, Nebraska, OBGYN from Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, her PhD in nutrition in 1992 from American College of Holistic Nutrition in Birmingham. She received her master's certificate in the Compass Feng Shui in July 2001 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Would you please welcome Dr. Jewel Pookrum.
So hotep and greetings to everyone. So I'm excited to be here tonight. Out of the honor of our ancestors and those who have gone before us, I bring great news and tidings about the subject that I want to speak about. So as soon as my slides are put up, we can start. So I'm so glad to see that all of you have come out in the rain today. I was hoping that I would see you, my colleagues there, etc., and all the children look so wonderful. So I know I'm probably look real different from my picture of advertisement, but that's one great thing about metamorphosis and change. Before it's all over, since I have about 250 years left on the planet, I may be looking all kind of different ways. So can you all hear me very well? Is the tape on? I mean, is the mic working real well? Okay, great. Well, I'm just going to start out while they put my transparencies up. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and I just remembered there was a picture that I wanted to bring to you that was so profound, but I'll describe it to you. I looked in the newspaper, the Dallas Morning Weekly, and they had a long, long description of a lot of things that I was supposed to discuss. And so out of that, I will bring forth this one teaching that I think is so strategic for us at this time. I am addressing the residue of slavery tonight. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a very, very critical issue. Great. Okay, so you can focus me in here. We've spent a lot of time talking about the past and what perhaps happened to us in slavery, etc., but we really, from a scientific perspective, have not really addressed the issues. Oh, good. Can the lights come down just a little bit in the back so you can really see this? Right. Is that clear for everyone? Can everyone on that side, you can see too? Okay, great. And so over the years, I've really been concerned about what happened to us 200 to 250 years ago, and really studying and looking at the profound effect of how that is actually panning out now. There's been some articles in Caucasian published magazines, primarily for Caucasians, where they recognize that health or illness, states of consciousness, etc., when people of this nature are placed in a leadership position, can have ramifications on generations for hundreds of years. So in that case, understanding, for example, that this country is still suffering from the effects of World War II, all of the major leaders who were calling the shots at that time had profound physical ailments, whether there was actually drug addiction, neurologic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, psychoses. All the four major leaders were found to be profoundly ill, and they were actually calling the shots, and millions of lives were lost because of that. And the end result is still playing out to this day. So if we can account for that fact happening, that four major people in four major countries could affect the world for over 50 years later, then obviously a people being under duress conditions for over 100 years, how long is that going to play out? And the answer can be infinitesimal if the remnants of that event do not come into the awareness of what has happened to them and take control over themselves personally to investigate how much of a residue they have because of that, and then transform it. Next slide, please. So, as I've already done my introduction, and Sister Sabande has already given you information about who I am, I think we can go to the next slide. I do want to talk about the fact that I do have advanced degrees in feng shui. So I don't know how many of you are aware of feng shui. It was originally an Egyptian science that was cultivated and nurtured by the Asian race, Chinese and Japanese. And so the remnants of that they have been able to carry is a science of placement and orientation on the planet Earth in this dimension. You have to understand what that science is about. And the understanding of placement and orientation determines the effect that the electromagnetic currents and frequencies from that object will have on you. So this is why they talk about ill placements or appropriate or proper placements, because everything is giving off an electromagnetic frequency. Okay? The major African communities definitely have poor placement and have a lot of what we call afflicted energy in them. So whether we are aware of them or not, our own environments that we set up out of our ignorance intentionally inflict a lot of conflict and confusion upon us. And it's about time that we begin to regain the science and the knowledge of this information so that we can make the corrections ourselves. It's our responsibility to make these corrections, and we need to start paying attention to the sciences that are available. Next. Now, this was an important article here, and this is why I'm bringing this subject up of the residue of slavery. This was an article that came out a while ago. Can somebody see way up in the corner when that came out? This was in '96, does it say? Way up in the little corner somewhere or down below. But anyway, this article makes it very clear that beyond the melting point, in the 21st century, and that's not far off, we're already in it now, racial and ethnic groups in the United States will outnumber whites for the first time. Now you have to understand that this publication came out of a white magazine. Okay, the browning of America, can you move this up a little bit, please? The browning of America will alter everything in society, from politics and education to industry, values, and culture. So you have to understand this article was published in the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. So therefore, this trend was noted over 20, 25 years ago, and truly measures and circumstances were put in place to direct this trend that it was understood over 25 years ago was out of their control. So I remember clearly, because of the type of education that I've had, that most of the time I was the only pigmented person in the room or in the entire environment. And now basically it's rare that I see Caucasians outnumber any place that I go, regardless of where that is. Is that if it's not Asians or Hispanics or Indians or Africans from Africa or South Americans, etc., everything worldwide now is brown. It's not just America. So what does that mean? Next, please. Okay. This picture came out of Scientific America because Scientific America devoted an entire publication that month to